And I am so sorry. Sorry. Her voice rose, years of pain spilling out. Sorry. You destroyed our family. You called me a liar and a cheater for years. You left your children, our children, because you believed DNA test over the woman who loved you. I know. You made Sophie anxious and afraid of abandonment. Daniel can't maintain relationships because he watched ours fall apart. Lily cuts herself, Marcus. Did you know that? She hurts herself because the pain of you leaving hurt so much she needed to control something. Marcus felt each word like a physical blow. No. I didn't. Elena. And I begged you, she continued, tears streaming now. I begged you to believe me. To trust me. To look for other explanations. But you just left. You gave up on us. Because the science said. Fuck the science. Elena shouted, then immediately covered her mouth, shocked at herself. She never swore. I'm sorry. But Marcus, you knew me. You knew my heart. And you chose to believe a test over 12 years of marriage and love and faithfulness. She was right. God help him, she was absolutely right. I don't expect you to forgive me, Marcus said quietly. I don't forgive myself. But I needed you to know the truth. You were innocent. You've always been innocent. And I destroyed everything because I was so certain I was right. Elena wiped her tears with the back of her hand. What do you want from me, Marcus? Nothing. I deserve nothing. I wanted you to have proof. Validation. Something to show people when they whisper, because I know they still do. You can show them the medical reports. You can. I don't care what people think, Elena interrupted tiredly. I never did. I only cared what you thought. And you thought I was a liar. The truth of that settled like lead in Marcus's stomach. I need to tell the children, Marcus said. They deserve to know why I failed them so badly. Elena nodded slowly. Yes. They do. Marcus gathered his children. His children, he reminded himself, always his children. The following Saturday. Sophie was 18 now, home from college for the summer. Daniel was 20, serious and guarded. Lily was 16, her arms covered by a long-sleeved shirt despite the heat. And Owen was 13, the one who remembered the divorce list but had grown up in its shadow. They sat in Elena's living room, confused about why their father had called this meeting with their mother present. Marcus looked at Elena, and she nodded slightly. Support, even now. I need to tell you something, Marcus began, his voice shaking. Something I should have told you years ago. Something I didn't know until recently. He explained it all. Sophie's illness. The blood type incompatibility. The DNA test. His certainty. His accusations. The divorce. And finally, the truth about chimerism, about the twin he'd absorbed, about the biological reality that made no sense but was reality nonetheless. You're saying Mom never cheated? Sophie asked, her voice small. All this time, she never. Your mother was completely faithful, Marcus said firmly. She told me that. She swore it. And I didn't believe her. That's on me. That's my failure. Daniel's jaw clenched. You destroyed our family over DNA tests you didn't understand. Yes, Marcus admitted. I did. How could you? Lily's voice was barely audible. How could you not believe her? Because I was hurt and scared and I let that make me cruel, Marcus said. I let it make me blind to everything I knew about your mother. And I'm sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry. Owen, the youngest, looked confused. So you're actually our dad? Biologically. Yes and no, Marcus said carefully. Biologically, I'm your uncle. But your uncle who never existed except as part of me. It's complicated, Owen. But yes, I'm your father. I've always been your father. I just forgot that for a while. You didn't forget, Daniel said coldly. You abandoned us. Marcus flinched but accepted it. You're right. And I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make that up to you, if you let me. Sophie was crying silently. Alena moved to comfort her, and Marcus watched them, the woman he'd wronged and the daughter he'd hurt, and felt the full weight of his mistakes. I don't know if I can forgive you, Sophie whispered. You made me feel like there was something wrong with me. Like I wasn't really yours. Do you know how that felt? No, Marcus admitted. But I imagine it felt like betrayal. Like I betrayed you. And I did. I betrayed all of you. Lily pulled up her sleeves, revealing the scars. Alena gasped softly, clearly not having known the extent. Lily looked at Marcus with devastated eyes. This is what you did, she said quietly. Every line is a time I felt like I wasn't enough. Like I wasn't really yours. Like you could just leave. Marcus couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. I'm in therapy now, Lily continued. I'm getting better. But you don't get credit for that. You get credit for breaking me. Lily, Marcus started, but what could he say? She was right. Daniel stood up. I need to leave. I can't process this right now. He walked out. After a moment, Lily followed. Only Sophie and Owen remained. What happens now? Owen asked practically. Do you want to get back together with Mom or something? Both Marcus and Alena answered simultaneously, no. They looked at each other, a sad understanding passing between them. Too much has happened, Alena said gently to Owen. Too much hurt. We can't go back. I'm married now, Marcus added. To Yuki. And I love her. But that doesn't diminish what I did to your mother. What I did to all of you. Sophie hugged her mother tightly. I believe you now, Mom. I always kind of did, but now? I'm sorry I ever doubted. You were a child, Alena soothed. You don't apologize for that. Sophie looked at Marcus. I don't know if we can fix this, Dad. But I'm glad you finally know the truth. And I'm glad Mom does too. It wasn't forgiveness. But it was a start. The weeks that followed were complicated. Marcus had to tell Yuki everything, she deserved complete honesty. When he did, she cried for Alena, for the children, for the years of pain that could have been avoided. Why didn't you trust her? Yuki asked, not accusing but genuinely trying to understand. Because I trusted science more than love, Marcus admitted. And that was my greatest mistake. Yuki looked at baby Kenji sleeping in his bassinet. You tested him too, didn't you? Before you knew. Marcus nodded, ashamed. Did you doubt me? She asked quietly. I doubted everything, Marcus said. I doubted myself. Reality. I couldn't see past my own trauma. Yuki was quiet for a long time. Then, we need counseling. Both of us. Because Marcus, if you can't learn to trust, our marriage won't survive either. She was right. They started therapy immediately. Marcus also began the long, painful process of trying to repair relationships with his older children. Daniel refused to see him for months. Lily agreed to join therapy sessions where she expressed her anger and hurt in raw, devastating terms. Sophie maintained polite distance. Owen, the youngest, was the most forgiving, perhaps because his memories of the intact family were haziest. Alena, remarkably, helped. They need their father, she told Marcus during one of their now regular co-parenting conversations. A flawed father who made terrible mistakes, but their father nonetheless. Don't give up on them. How can you be kind to me after what I did? Marcus asked, genuinely baffled. Alena looked tired but at peace. Because holding on to anger only hurts me. I was angry for years, Marcus. So angry I couldn't breathe sometimes. But then I realized, you were in pain too. You made horrible decisions from that pain. After divorcing faithful wife. Suddenly, everyone knew about chimerism, about the twin Marcus carried, about the tragedy of mistrust. Some comments were sympathetic to Marcus. Most were not. He chose test over trust. Poor woman spent years defending herself. Those poor children. Marcus read every comment, accepting each as penance deserved. 2 years passed. Daniel eventually agreed to see Marcus, though their relationship remained strained. They met for coffee once a month, awkward conversations about weather and work that slowly, incrementally, deepened into something more real. I understand why you did it, Daniel said one day, surprising Marcus. Doesn't mean I'm okay with it. But I understand. Pain makes people do things they wouldn't otherwise do. Wise words from my son, Marcus said softly. I'm in therapy too, Daniel admitted. Learning about trust and abandonment issues. Turns out you messed me up pretty good, Dad. The honesty had bought was necessary. Lily's scars faded as she stopped cutting. She got into art school and created a powerful piece about family, DNA, and identity that won awards. She invited Marcus to the exhibition. He went and wept openly in front of her work. Afterward, Lily hugged him, the first real hug in years. I'm still angry, she told him. But I'm learning that people are complicated. Even parents. Especially parents. Sophie transferred to a university closer to home, citing wanting to be near family. She and Elena had grown incredibly close, which Marcus celebrated even as it highlighted what he'd lost. Sophie was cordial with Marcus, sometimes even warm, but there was a guardedness that might never fully disappear. I'm proud of you, Marcus told her at her graduation. You're so strong. I had to be, Sophie replied, not unkindly. Just truthfully. Owen, now 15, had started asking questions about genetics and biology. He'd become fascinated with Marcus's condition and was considering a career in medicine. Maybe I help other families avoid what happened to us, Owen said one day. Marcus hugged his youngest son tightly, grateful for his resilience. Yuki gave birth to a daughter they named Aiko. This time, Marcus didn't test. This time, he trusted. The therapy was working, slowly rewiring his traumatized brain to believe in fidelity again, to believe in truth. Elena started dating a kind widower named Paul who worked as a veterinarian. Marcus met him during a shared custody exchange and felt genuine happiness for her. He's good to you? Marcus asked. Very, Elena said, smiling softly. He's patient with my baggage. You deserve that, Marcus said. You deserve someone who trusts you completely. Elena met his eyes. So do you, Marcus. I hope you're learning that with Yuki. I'm trying, he admitted. Their relationship would never be what it was, but it had transformed into something else, a respectful co-parenting partnership built on hard-won understanding. 5 years after the discovery, Marcus did something unexpected. He started speaking publicly about his experience. Medical schools invited him to lecture about chimerism. Support groups for people struggling with infidelity invited him to share his story as a cautionary tale about the dangers of assumptions. He always began the same way. My name is Marcus John, and I destroyed my family because I trusted science over the person I loved most. Then he would tell the story, all of it, holding nothing back. The children he tested. The wife he abandoned. The years of pain inflicted on innocent people. The irony, he would say, is that I was right to trust science. DNA doesn't lie. But I was wrong about what the DNA was telling me. I saw infidelity when the truth was much stranger. A twin brother I'd absorbed before birth was biologically fathering my children through me. He showed medical diagrams explaining chimerism. He read from the paternity test that had destroyed his life. He shared photos of his family, before and after. The lesson isn't that science is bad, Marcus would emphasize. Science eventually saved us by explaining the unexplainable. The lesson is that when science contradicts everything you know about someone's character, maybe, or just maybe, you're asking the wrong questions. He talked about his children's trauma. About Elena's years of defending an innocence no one believed. About his own mental health crisis. Trust, he would conclude, is not blind faith. But it's also not immediate suspicion. When someone you love, someone who's shown you nothing but faithfulness, tells you a truth that contradicts a test, consider that both might be true in ways you don't yet understand. Ask more questions. Seek more answers. Don't just leave. His voice would break on that last word. Every time. That night, Marcus sat alone in his study, holding an old ultrasound photo his mother had once given him, the one that showed 2 tiny heartbeats before one disappeared. For the first time in his life, Marcus whispered to the brother he never met. "You lived through me, and through them. I hope I carried you well." His phone buzzed. A message from Sophie. "Dad, I got accepted into medical school. I think I want to study genetics." Marcus broke down crying, not from pain this time, but from something that felt dangerously close to peace. Because in the end, the twin he never knew gave him children who would one day help save other families from the same mistake he made. And Marcus finally understood something that took him almost a lifetime to learn. Sometimes the miracle isn't that the truth comes out. It's that love survives long enough to hear it. Thank you so much to all my lovely and beautiful subscribers and my returning viewers. I so much appreciate your love and support. Your likes, your encouragement, and your comments keeps this channel growing. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications because you don't want to miss the next story. God bless you all. I love you all. Yours truly, Mrs. Real Money.